Well, that was nice. United actually played decently. Manchester United have won in Bucharest 2-0 against FCSB. For me, it was a quite a good performance, I would say. First half was a bit lackluster. I wouldn't say lackluster, I guess. I would say more there was something missing, that kind of edge in a sense. There wasn't a lot coming from United. There wasn't an absolute ton coming from the home side either. It was a bit of a lull game, similar to what happened at Fulham. It was just kind of going through the motions in a sense, but there was nothing really troubling United. Second half, Amorim made two good subs. He brought on Ahmad and he brought on Garnacho, and they did do quite a bit in terms of moving the play around in the final third, especially. There was a bit more of a bite to United, and it obviously showed with the two goals. Going through the Europa League group phase unbeaten is obviously a good sign. Happy with that. We now move into the last 16. We don't have to go through the playoffs, which is another good sign. Which, yeah, I think those 2 weeks or so when the playoffs are being played will be vital for United to be able to get some extra training, I guess, and get some Amorim to drill this system in to the players. It is... Oh, there are some little flaws here and there. It wasn't absolutely perfect. They did hit the bar at 2-0 about 15 minutes ago, something like that, which is probably their main attempt, I would say. The only attempt I would say was in any way troubling for Bayinde, who also had a decent game. I did see that there was a bit of a disconnect, or there was a difference in a sense, when they brought on Casemiro. I feel the midfield wasn't as willing to run, if that makes sense. Well, Casemiro felt like he had a little less of a willing to run in the midfield, comparatively to Collier and obviously Agate. Collier went off at half time. Agate wasn't in the squad due to the knock he got at Fulham. So we'll see how that progresses. But I thought they played quite well. There wasn't really too much to shout out about in terms of the actual the game. Nothing massively stand out. The one thing I would say, probably my player of the match as well, I would say Mainoo had a good game. And this change of having Mainoo in one of the forward lines and the kind of one of the 10s, and having Fernandes as one of the midfield roles, has shown a different side to Mainoo, especially because it's showing his ability within that final third and his creativity. And I think it is helping him quite a bit. I think he's showing that he can do the forward line stuff. Obviously, he has the legs to do the midfield stuff, but I feel like Fernandes is a bit more disciplined and a bit more willing to run and has the kind of longer range passing, whereas Mainoo is a bit more with the dribbling and the shorter passes. And I think having them the way they are now suits United a bit more better. And it'll be interesting to see how it progresses going forward. Obviously, we've got Agate, we've got now Collier, seems to be bedded in. He seems to be the pick over Casemiro. I think the only reason Casemiro came on tonight was because, obviously, United being at 2-0 and wanting to rest a few players. That was probably the only reason why he came on. And obviously, due to the fact that Agate and had the knock and Collier came off at half-time. But for me, yeah, I was happy with it. We move on to the last 16, like I said. I don't know who we have on the weekend. That's one thing I'm not sure of. I'm hoping it's someone relatively easy, I guess. I'm not actually 100% sure. Let me just have a quick look. Maybe I should have done this before I got on this microphone. Our next game is against Crystal Palace at home, which, with their run, isn't too bad, but they have been playing teams around them, which I can't really say United aren't that, but we are playing quite well, and we are now 3 wins in our last... Well, we're actually 4 wins in our last 5, which is a good sign, I guess. Positive. And then I think it's the FA Cup next week,
which will be a Friday, going into a Saturday, so it'll be fun. So that'll be an interesting review to get sorted out for me. But yeah, decent performance. Happy with it. Happy with how everything went. We move next. Palace weekend. Let's see how we go. Guys, what did you think of the game? What did you think of how we did? Let us know in the comments. Like this video if you haven't. Subscribe if you're new. Until next time, guys. Take care.